I think at the end of the day, regardless of whether it ends up being, 100% like some people think, which I don't, 50% like other people think, which I don't think it will even be that. But even if it ends up being 10%, okay, I think that everyone can agree that it will be at least 10% at some point. Now, whether it's all electric or it ends up being hybrid, or we go into a whole nother category of hydrogen, or we start to talk about any of that, we are going to have alternate method, whatever you want to call it, to the tune of somewhere in that 10% range. Well, I don't know about you, but I consider myself to be a greedy person. I don't want to not have that business no matter what percentage it is.
Right.
And so it's imperative that we have these conversations, because at the end of the day, regardless of what that amount is, again, there is a whole nother slew of education, a whole nother slew of foundation. Like what do we do to the shop? What tools do we need? What added things do we need to be looking out for? How do we make sure that we have the ability to take care of those customers differently if it's needed? Do we have, loaner vehicles for those customers in the same way? It's just like you're ordering a truck, like you said, right? If you buy a truck and you take your truck in for service, you don't want to drive a two-door sedan. You
Right.
expect to be in a truck. So
Yeah.
how do we have that? But more importantly, it's some of these liability things. There are some liabilities when we start to talk about electric vehicles that we definitely need to be considering. I don't know how far OSHA has gotten involved in this yet, as far as really looking at what kind of things we need to put into safety categories for our techs, for the dealership, for the liability. How is your insurance covering these kind of things?